Whether this fall in the beaten down names is getting arrested or not. Here's a very interesting take from the big man himself, Prem Watsa. He spoke with Economic Times and he's saying PSU banks is not really a dirty word. Interesting comments, Nikunj. He's saying he's open to investing in PSU banks, would like full control of banks, however. He says we need right policies to clean up PSU banks, betting on PSBs once governance issues are sorted out.
So look, Prem Watsa is a very famous investor and he's very smart in picking up assets when they're deeply depressed and where he can turn them around, or he has that patience to really monetize the value of that asset. So on that prism, yes, PSU banks, they offer a lot of value, but then he's also putting some preconditions. I want full control. The corporate governance issues have to be sorted out. Now imagine tomorrow if you put a PNB, I'm just using that for reference, no pun intended here, but if you put PNB or some other large PSU bank on the block and say, look, I'm going to give majority control, anybody would like to grab it. They have branches, they have network, they have low cost CASA. If you're able to get rid of the union and run them independently like a private sector enterprise, these banks have phenomenal wealth.
I was thinking, why Mr. Prem Watsa? Any of these existing private banks would want to take them over because it's great market share for them, right? Great branch network and stuff like that, where you can't, so especially in the inner pockets of the country.
The land which they are sitting on, we don't look at the value of the land which they are sitting on. On Dalal Street, small mid-cap companies get revalued because of land bank. So imagine the land bank some of these banks are sitting on. The property of Punjab National Bank in Bikaji Kama, or the property of Union Bank which is towered at Nairman Point. These are iconic buildings which you don't know what the value of the land is. So I respect what Mr. Watsa is doing. He's saying that look, there is value there, but it's like sky and the pie, give me majority control, I'm going to own it. So of course there is value in PSU.
It's quite an open-ended statement that he's open to, otherwise any investor is open to invest anywhere unless and until it meets the criteria. So investors should not get carried away that he is investing right now in PSU banks. He's open to, provided there are some preconditions or which are satisfied.
Some big ones
exactly.
Aisha, Nikunj, the point is most people would be open to PSU banks if they are privatized. That's the long-standing argument of Mr. Watsa. Everybody would be interested.
But to be fair, I think Prem Watsa has been very vocal about acknowledging that if I have to make an investment, the country which I'm very bullish on, I think, is India, and he's putting his money where his mouth is. If you look at the investments what he's made, whether it is the GVK group or with Nirmal Jain in IFL, or the investment what he's made in Thomas Cook, the sizable commitment which he's also made in a warehousing company. You got Fairfax, Chemicals, which again is a company. So I think he's been very vocal on various global forums, and he said, look, I am particularly excited about investing in India. I think India is where we think there is a lot of value, and every time he's been mentioning that he's excited about the current administration, he's also mentioned a Prime Minister's name and saying that, look, he says hand over what I feel is going to come back. So he is excited about investing in India, which is good news from an aggregate picture, because market really follow what he has to say and his understanding of the businesses. He's not like an IT guy who's going to make a P investment. He's like a hardcore old economy guy who will value the asset, land of the enterprise, value of the building, and then he will come and make an investment.
Yeah,